All right, so our practice today is restorative and yin. So we'll bookend the yin part with a couple of restorative poses. And you got it right on, Taylor. So we are going to set ourselves up in like an open heart pose, but I had you grab a couple of additional blocks in case you want to also add in a little opener for your hips. So in restorative yoga, you want to be completely supported. This is something that allows for like gentle release of muscles. So setting yourself up on a bolster, and there are two good bolsters there too, ladies, if you'd prefer to have the bigger bolster. That's okay. All right. Yes. So, all right. So you have, so Mike, if you want to grab a few more, like 4 blocks, feel free to do that because this first part, so here's my intent. Like you want to be supported so that you can really let yourself feel open here. Blocks under your arms might feel good, so a little extra blocks there. Or if you'd like to go wide with your legs and place blocks to the outside of your legs to support that, feel free to do that. So I want you to find the biggest thing here right now is to open up through the front body. That's what I'm hopeful for you in this first pose. So whatever that looks like. Again, restorative is really an opportunity, just like it says, to restore your body in a gentle way. So we are taking another 6-7 minutes or so to be here in this pose. So begin to tune in to your body first, noticing those spots that you can really feel that are starting to slowly release. And you let yourself soften into those spaces even more. And maybe you use your breath for just that, directing your breath into these areas. So again, you will be here, staying tuned into your breath and what you're feeling through your body for the next 5 minutes. When we get to the end of this piece, I will ring the bowl 3 times. So just relax. You have time to be still and just be. If your attention has drifted away from the breath, gently guide it back. Bring some easy movement back to your body. And we'll carefully push ourselves up to a seated position. Remove all the things that are underneath you and around you. And we'll make our way into our first yin pose of practice. And so this pose, we know it as knot pose, but in yin, it's called bow tie. So I'm going to have you lay onto your stomach and initially find a sphinx pose. So we're actually going to kind of reverse where you're trying to open up through the front of the shoulders in that last pose. Now we'll try and open up a little through the back of the body. So with our bow tie pose, we're actually going to slide one arm underneath, and then that opposite arm, you'll crawl it in the other direction. So the arm that goes underneath, doesn't matter which side you start with, the arm that goes underneath, the palm faces up. The opposite arm, the palm faces down. If it feels like it's too much, you can bring the arms a little closer together. If it feels like you need a little bit more, you could crawl your fingertips away from each other and then let your chin rest on something. So if it's not feeling like you're that comfortable where you are, using a block may be helpful here. You could set your forehead to the block. Beautiful. All right. So in yin, there are a few principles that we follow in yin. So finding your edge, you want to know where to stop, finding that balance between no sensation and too much sensation. So you've got to find that point in between. And then be still once you have found that place. And hold the pose. We hold the pose for a variety of lengths throughout our practice today, but this one, We're holding for 2 minutes. So we have a little more than 1 minute left. Now we'll slowly move out of the pose. Feel free to find anything in between that you might need, but what we'll do, and then just notice which arm's closer to you because you're going to switch that up. So the opposite arm will now go underneath. If you're ready to go right for it, feel free to do that. That opposite arm goes underneath, palm faces up, and then you're crawling the arm away in the other direction, finding a point of relaxation. Again, that edge that still allows for that opening through the back of the shoulders, the back body, without too much. Take 2 more big breaths here. And then we'll gently release that. And you can either come to a child's pose or just come up onto the heels and just kind of shake out whatever you feel like you might need to shake out. Again, child's pose, absolutely fine. We're going to focus in on the lower body next. So we will try to hit all sides of our hips with this next little bit of stuff. So if you will grab your blocks, half monkey, which we know as half splits, is our first pose. So we'll step the right foot forward, and then you'll begin to shift your weight back. So that right heel connects with the floor, and your left hip and knee are aligned. So you can stay where you're hinging from the hip. The heart stays open here. And if you feel like you need a little more elevation, we are holding this for 2 minutes. So if you feel like you need less, again, you're finding your edge. You need less, come up a little more upright. If you need more, you could fold a little more further. That's excellent English. A little further into this stretch. All right, we've about A little over a minute and 15 seconds left. Good. Notice if your right hip has drifted forward. Try to send your right hip, your right glute toward the wall behind you. Perfect. Now, to move out of this, shift your hips forward. Bring your right knee back to join your left. And then we'll send that left foot forward, finding the lunge first, and then allow the hips to drift back, finding your monkey pose. Good. 2 minutes starts now. Focus on the breath. Focus on the release through the back of the leg. Take one more big breath in and out here. And then gently shift yourself forward. Bring this left knee back to join the right. All right. So we're going to practice two things or do two poses for that right hip from the outside and inside perspective. And we know this particular pose as lizard pose. In yin, it's called, there's different varieties. It's dragon flying low is the one that we're going to practice, but you could do a winged dragon if you'd like as well. But that right foot's going to step wide, and you'll have both hands to the inside part of that right foot. You can choose to make this a little more active. You can make it a little more passive, lowering down to forearms to block, to keeping the hands to the block, whatever you would like here. Again, knee can be pulled into the midline. You could wing the knee out. All right, so we have 2 minutes here, and then 2 minutes in what we most know as pigeon pose, but when it is called swan in yin. We have about 1 more minute here. Stay tuned into the breath and how the breath can help with the release as well as softening through the shoulders and neck. So make sure that you keep that breath flowing down into the belly, up and out. Let the shoulders relax, let the head relax. All right, we move right into swan from here. So you could heel toe your right foot over toward that left long edge of the mat, or you could bring that right foot back just for a second, those knees line back up, and then you could slide that right knee in behind that right wrist, and then give yourself a little time here to settle in. So however you'd like to approach it, your right knee will be toward that right long edge of the mat, maybe that right foot over toward the left long edge of the mat. Yep, beautiful. And then folding forward. Again, finding your edge. So it's not that place right where it feels like there's going to be a big problem if you stay here too long. You need to go to that place that's kind of in the middle so that you can hold. We have 2 minutes here. The clock has started. Last 30 seconds here. Soothing breaths in and out. Now we're slowly going to transition to either all fours. If you'd like to find down dog, feel free to do that. You can find any movement that will help to kind of reset this right hip. So if you need a little roll through the hip or a walk of the dog, feel free to do that. And then we'll prepare for the same 2 poses left side. We start off with that dragon flying low or lizard pose. So left foot will step wide. You have your hands to the inside part of that left foot, or you could lower down to forearms. Again, you have those same options, of course, that you had on that first side. So setting yourself up here, the clock has started on 2 minutes. So what's the benefit of yin yoga? They actually call it the yoga of the joints. So this is an opportunity to stretch deeper into those connective tissues like the ligaments, the tendons, and deep fascia. So those tissue that surround the muscles. So it's just a different style, obviously, a passive style. So allow yourself to release, relax. Just find those full breaths. And now we gently transition to swan or pigeon pose. So however you'd like to get there, again, that heel toe of that left foot over toward the right side is an option. Coming back to all fours is an option, and then sliding that left knee in behind the left wrist. Perfect. Yep. Good. So settling in here. 2 minutes starts now. Let your next few breaths allow for even more softening. And now slowly walk yourself back up, sit down onto your left hip and swing your legs around to the front of your mat. Shake out whatever you might need to shake out here. All right. We're making our way onto our backs. If you'd like to grab a block and bring it with you, we are going to spend a couple of minutes in a supported bridge pose. So you'll slide that block under the lower part of the back. And you can stay right here in the supported bridge pose with the block along supporting your pelvis. If you want to make this more of a hip, front of the hip opener, you could walk your legs long. You could also turn your block so that you have the long edges of the block paralleling the long edges of your mat, and you might feel a little release of those SI joints as a result of this. So again, we have just a couple of minutes here to find something that suits you best, and then let's stay. Take 2 more relaxing breaths here, full breaths. And now let's gently release the block from underneath us. Draw your knees into your chest. We will twist by bringing the knees to the left. You choose whatever shape you'd like to make. So maybe figure 4, maybe the knees just stack one on top of the other. You could bring your arms wide or into 90-degree shapes, but find a twist that you can hold for about 1.5 minutes. Very slowly bring the legs back to center. Kind of reset here, and then prepare for that twist on the other side. Take your time. And now slowly bring your legs back to center. Find anything here that you need to reset. And then decide for final relaxation where you'd like to be. You could bring yourself to the wall to put your legs up the wall. You could reset your structure that you made at the very beginning of class and do the same thing that you did there. You could lay flat to your back. You could actually add a bolster under your knees to support that position. So take time here to set yourself up in any way that you would like for these last 5 minutes of class. Let the pose that you've chosen allow for complete relaxation. Let it be restorative. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Conscious breathing is my anchor." Let this be true for you as well. Stay so tuned into the movement of your breath, the feel of your breath. Bring some gentle movement back to your body. You're welcome to stay on your back, stay right where you are, or you can roll to your favorite side and just rest. Let's meet in a seated position. Take your time. Let's take one more big deep breath in together. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Thank you so much, y'all. I really do appreciate you, your consistency and support of this class. Namaste, friends.